The air inside the King Baudouin Stadium in Brussels was charged with an electric, deeply emotional energy as the final night of the Arirang World Tour came to a close. Over 50,000 fans filled the massive venue, transforming the stands into a vast, shimmering purple ocean that pulsed with love, devotion, and a bittersweet awareness that a beautiful chapter was wrapping up. For 2 consecutive nights, BTS had poured their entire hearts into their performances, offering Belgium an unforgettable spectacle filled with immaculate choreography, soaring vocals, and raw, genuine human connection. But as the high-octane rhythms of their tracks gave way to the gentle, introspective melodies of their closing songs, the atmosphere shifted from triumphant celebration to a profoundly intimate moment shared between the group and their global family, ARMY. It was during these final moments on stage that the deep, unbreakable bond between the members took center stage, captivating everyone in attendance and those watching through screens worldwide. As the members gathered at the center of the stage to offer their final ending speeches, or ments, the W.8 of the journey and the overwhelming support of the European crowd began to visibly settle over them. Kim Taehyung, known affectionately by millions as V, stood amidst his brothers, gazing out at the sea of glowing light sticks. He had spent the tour sharing his joy, light-hearted jokes about his love for Belgian waffles, and his immense gratitude, but as he prepared to speak, a wave of raw emotion seemed to overtake him. The sheer scale of the love reflecting back from the crowd struck a chord deep within him, and as he began to speak about how much ARMY meant to his life, his voice faltered, catching in his throat as tears welled up in his eyes. Seeing his fellow member and close friend beginning to break down under the weight of his emotions, Jungkook did not hesitate for a single second. Stepping away from his own position on the stage, the youngest member of BTS closed the distance between them, instinctively offering a pillar of strength and comfort. Jungkook gently wrapped an arm around Taehyung, pulling him into a supportive, warm embrace that immediately spoke volumes without needing a single word. He held Taehyung close, anchoring him as the older singer let his tears flow freely. Deeply moved by the chanting of his name that erupted across the stadium like a powerful wave of reassurance from the fans. This silent, unwavering support from Jungkook provided Taehyung with the space he needed to catch his breath and find his footing again amidst the emotional swell. Jungkook stayed right by his side, occasionally rubbing his shoulder or offering a reassuring nod, proving once again that the brotherhood shared within BTS is a protective sanctuary built over a decade of shared hardships and triumphs. For ARMY, witnessing this tender interaction was a poignant reminder of why they hold this group so close to their hearts. It was a display of genuine, unfiltered humanity, stripped of the polished idol persona, showing 2 friends fiercely looking out for one another in a moment of vulnerability. As Taehyung wiped away his tears, comforted by Jungkook's presence and the roaring, affectionate chants of 50,000 people, he managed to complete his heartfelt message, promising that the memories forged in Brussels would remain locked away as treasures in his heart forever. The beautiful display of empathy between Jungkook and Taehyung during the Brussels finale added a deeply moving layer to an already historic tour stop, leaving the stadium wrapped in a collective warmth that lingered long after the final notes of the concert faded into the night. The bond that ties the members of BTS together extends far beyond the boundaries of a professional relationship or the shared responsibilities of a world-famous musical group. It is an intricate, deeply rooted brotherhood forged through years of shared struggles, sleepless nights, and the unparalleled experience of navigating global superstardom together. When they stand on a stage like the one in Brussels, looking out at a sea of purple lights, they are not just performing, they are experiencing a monumental reality that only the 7 of them truly understand. This shared reality is what makes moments of vulnerability, like Taehyung's emotional breakdown, so deeply resonant and the comfort offered by Jungkook so instinctively natural. As Taehyung stood before the microphone, the eye lens of the stadium felt heavy with anticipation and love. He has always been an artist who wears his heart on his sleeve, communicating not just through his rich, soulful vocals but through an expressive vulnerability that makes fans feel instantly connected to his inner world. On this final night in Brussels, the reality of the tour's conclusion, combined with the overwhelming warmth of the Belgian armies, seemed to break through his usual playful demeanor. When he looked out at the crowd, seeing the signs held aloft and hearing the collective, rhythmic chanting of his name, the magnitude of that unconditional love became overwhelming. The words he had prepared seemed to dissolve, replaced by a raw emotion that manifested as silent tears tracing down his face. Jungkook's immediate reaction to Taehyung's tears was a testament to the years they have spent growing up together. As the youngest member of the group, Jungkook has often spoken about how much he learned from his older brothers, and how their happiness and pain directly mirror his own. Seeing Taehyung struggle to speak, Jungkook did not wait for a cue or look to see if cameras were watching. He moved with a quiet, protective intent that has become a hallmark of their relationship. By stepping into Taehyung's space and wrapping his arm around him, Jungkook provided a physical anchor, a silent message reminding Taehyung that he did not have to stand alone under the weight of that massive spotlight. The stadium reacted with a collective, breathless murmur before erupting into a louder, even more passionate roar of support. Fans cheered not just to fill the silence, but to lift Taehyung up, sending a wave of reassurance toward the stage. Jungkook stood firm beside him, his presence acting as a shield against the overwhelming nature of the moment. He whispered words of encouragement, perhaps a light-hearted remark or a simple reassurance to take his time, allowing Taehyung the necessary moments to process his emotions without feeling pressured to perform or maintain a flawless exterior. This moment of comfort highlighted a fundamental truth about BTS that has captivated millions around the globe: their success is built on a foundation of genuine human connection. In an industry that often demands perfection and emotional restraint, BTS has consistently chosen authenticity. They allow themselves to cry, to express gratitude, and to lean on one another when the pressure becomes too immense to carry individually. Jungkook's simple act of comforting Taehyung was a vivid illustration of this culture of care that exists within the group, showing that no matter how large the venues get or how historic their achievements become, their primary care remains the well-being of one another. When Taehyung finally found his voice again, his tone was laced with a deep, trembling sincerity that cut through the massive stadium. He thanked the fans